Hey,
everybody!
Welcome back to Sofa Spouses.
Sofa Spouses.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Amanda.
And we're here to give you guys our reaction or our review of
Wicked. And
Part
yes,
1.
it's official. Part 1.
Yeah. So, all I gotta say is that
I'll let you speak first because let me explain.
Once we open the floodgates, we're all over. It's all over. But needless to say,
can I say what I want you to say first?
Yeah, so go ahead.
Because he'll watch a musical. His family is very musical.
Yes, they are very musical. But
and
musicals are.
I did take him to see his first Broadway play, which was Anastasia.
Yep.
And that's a good play if you haven't.
Yes, it is a good play.
And he watched Into the Woods with me, the Disney.
Yep.
And enjoyed that.
It's not like I've never seen musicals before.
I'm the bigger musical.
Yes,
fan
she's definitely the bigger musical fan. So I'll go first, give you my thoughts, and then we'll turn the rest of the time over to her. So, I really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised how much I enjoyed it. Because I've never been a massive Wizard of Oz fan.
And also keep in mind, it's kind of girly, and he is not always like
kind of girly, and I've not always been a girly movie person. And I will admit the movie it definitely had a lot of girly themes. It definitely felt girly, but the thing that won me over is that it's got a really, really good story. The story is phenomenal. It's really well done. It's really well put together. I've never really been a huge fan of the Wizard of Oz universe or the Wizard of Oz in general, but I really enjoyed this take on it. It's different. It goes from a different angle. It's very, very well thought out. It's got a lot of mysteries, a lot of interesting stuff, things that I never really thought about. Stuff. I mean, my family always talked about reading the books as a family, but it didn't end up happening, and my brothers and sisters ended up reading it all by themselves, and I never did. So,
I do have it on my Kindle. If you
one of these days,
we'll
have to sit and read it. But
it's not Audible, so we'd have to read it.
Yeah, we'd have to read it, but but I'm sure we probably could find an Audible version of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed the songs. The music was very well done, very well done. I liked, I've one of the things that always bothered me about musicals was always that everybody breaks out into song and dance, and it in situations where it doesn't really make any sense that people will be jumping around and dancing around in the street. It doesn't really make any sense, but because it's in Wizard of Oz,
it makes sense.
Because it's in the Oz world, it kind of makes sense. It doesn't take you out of the story too much, and I loved the design of the world was very well done. I can't express how cool those sets were. I mean, the Emerald City is just
and it's not all CGI.
Yeah, it's not all CGI.
If they don't get a
nomination for set design, the Academy doesn't know what
it's the same as Barbie. Like Barbie got it. I don't know if they want that. Correct me if you know if they won.
I don't think they did.
But it's another if they don't get a nomination. What is the Academy thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
Because no, I think Barbie might have won it. Might have won that.
I don't remember. I have to look. But anyway, so
in the comments if you know.
I've really enjoyed the look of it. So
that train in there is real. The poppies were planted. They are still in some field somewhere wherever they film the freaking thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so good. It's really, really good.
Are the flowers? We haven't seen all the poppies yet.
As a non-musical fan, I would definitely have to recommend this to anybody. So
wow.
So
that's high praise for him,
yes.
by the way.
So now we're gonna go ahead and put up the big spoiler warning.
Yes, there are spoilers in this.
This is
in the comments. If you know, be careful.
Yes.
But
most people know the story of Wicked.
First thing I have to say. Were you done? Sorry.
Just reemphasizing the fact that we're moving into spoiler territory now. We're gonna put up the big spoiler warning button. So if you don't want to get spoiled, either click off the video, wait until the spoiler button goes away, or whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and get into spoiler stuff now.
So speaking of spoilers, I will say, like I've said in some other videos that we've talked about Wicked, if you are just watching this as the movie and you do not plan to see the play before the second part comes out about the same time next year, and you really don't want to be spoiled. Now I understand some people might just go, I want to see the play, and they'll go see the play. Mm-hmm. Go support Broadway. Theaters deserve your support.
Yes.
But the support fans have given this is half the reason this movie has been made. So support theater. But don't go looking it up, because if it ends the way that I think it might end, it will spoil the surprise.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I've said that many times, and people who've seen it can confirm it. But anyway, first off, Ariana Grande was born to play Glinda.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande was freaking born to play Glinda. I was watching some clips of her on Sam and Cat this morning, actually, and I've always thought, the first time I knew who she was the first album she reached out, and she kind of did this 50 song. I have it on my Kindle. I have not listened to it as much as I would, and I like some of her other songs. I've heard some of her other recent songs, or more songs that made her more famous. Mm-hmm. But when I heard her sing, and it was like this doo-wop 50s version, and she was so pretty and had this beautiful voice, and I feel so glad for her that she's using her full name on the credits in this. And she met Christian Chenoweth when she was 10 years old, took a picture that's now been plastered everywhere. Well, it was plastered everywhere before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't watch her, if you watched the little anniversary thing they did, I think it was during COVID for Wicked, or just after COVID was kind of winding down, I forget what it was, on TV, and she sung The Wizard and I. You know, she was born to be in this play, even though she didn't play. When she did that, I thought, oh, she'd be a good Elphaba. And I still say her thing on the Disney thing during COVID, where she's saying, "No, sir, no way, I won't say I'm in love," is an audition. So if they really, at Disney, if you really are doing a live action Hercules,
yes,
pay attention.
Yes.
But anyway, because that was an audition. That was more than just her having fun. That was a freaking audition for Megara, and she was awesome. But she was, and I'm so glad she's using her full name in this to pay credit to the little girl, that this was her dream. And all I'm gonna say is, Ari, you took care of her. You did a good job. I can't wait to see you in the second half. Cynthia Erivo, I am my friend Carrie. Hi, Carrie. My friend Carrie recommended I see Harriet. Want to see that now. She was also born to play this part. I've been impressed with her Now, I don't think I connected that she was in Harriet. And I also found out she was in something else the other day, which was surprised me that I want to watch, but I can't think of it right now. But I've been impressed with her when I found out who she was since I've heard her sing the last half of I'm Still Here in Color Purple.
Yeah.
And I heard that, I saw a clip and I go, who is that freaking lady?
Mm-hmm.
But, if anybody, and I'm not saying all the Broadway actors in there's amazing. The ones that Megan, when I watched it on YouTube, which probably don't try to do this anymore, you can't probably find it now. That was before they were a little strict. They're probably a lot stricter now. Yeah. Megan Mullally, who went on to, what is that show about Marilyn Monroe, and it had American Idol in it? Fame? It's not famous, but anyway. If you remember that show, put it in the comments. I'll probably think of it as we go. But she played Glinda on Broadway, and the clip that I watched was actually her last performance. And she was a good Glinda. The Elphaba was good. Idina kills it. Chenoweth kills it. Since I've heard Defying Gravity, I've loved Wizard of Oz since I was a little girl. It's one of my favorite movies. Though the first time I ever watched it, Elphaba freaked me out. The Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh yeah.
But then I watched it again.
I think that was kind of the goal.
But I have a special place in Wizard of Oz also just because when I used to go to Children's Hospitals every 6 months, and the one in LA. And if somebody could comment if they know if they still have this in there, in their lobby that I would go into, and I heard that someone told me one time when I was there looking at it that someone had made that and it was donated by somebody. It was just a small replica. It wasn't like the one if you see the movie, you're gonna see when the wizard's talking about it. It was a little small replica of the Emerald City in like this big cabinet thing. And it was just so cool. I would run every time it was there. And I loved it. So I've had a special plate in Wizard of Oz. And they were amazing. They killed it. Both of them just killed it. Yeah. You can't deny it. You can't see this and not tell me that they didn't kill it. Everybody was good in it. Jeff Goldblum was good in it. Michelle Yeoh was good in it. And even their singing was good. I liked it. Jeff Goldblum is a really good wizard.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He is. And she's a great Madame Morrible. You'll see more of her in the second part. But the two stars, their voices were amazing together. Defying Gravity is the reason why when you do a play and you bring it to a movie, you have fun with it. And
they had fun with it.
I've watched some interesting. I watched some where he talked about how he paced it better. He paced it a little more different. And I do want to watch the little special NBC did, but I'm so glad I didn't, because I didn't. Part of the reason I didn't watch it was I knew they were going to do a special clip, and I figured it was a little bit of Defying Gravity, and it was. It was about, I think, 40. I forget how many. It was a little bit of the first couple. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I didn't, because oh my gosh, that scene was so well done.
Oh yeah,
so well done. And well done. It hit. Everything just hit.
It was perfect.
Everything just hit. And her and nobody was amazing. The fact that she was actually on wires and got stunt people to work with her and vocal coaches to find where she needed to put her breath is amazing. Yes, it's amazing on the stage too. Don't get me wrong. I still want to go see this movie on stage, even after Wicked on stage, even after seeing this. But there are just some things about movie magic, and watching her do what she does as she sings that is movie magic. It is movie magic.
Oh yeah.
It is just movie magic, and it's not. And the sets are just you feel it. Now I will say, I've heard some people come out and say this. Yeah, do not necessarily go running out and buy your younger kids books. The books are a little bit more adult. Quite a bit more adult. They're good. It's good. I did not finish the whole thing, but I did finally sit down and read the first one. In fact, the first time I heard of it was my friend of mine, Allie Greenfield, that in college, that told me about the book. And then it was a play, and we actually got to sit by a couple kids, and it was great.
Yes, that was fun.
There was little Glinda and this one girl when they were doing Emerald City. You could tell she'd seen the play because she was kind of doing the dance and singing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if she's seen the play, but she might have the full play. But I mean, Broadway is expensive. It has been here in Springfield before, and I almost thought about it. I was single then, but it was still like $90 even back then. So. And if this is your chance to see it, go see it.
Yeah.
I still want to someday go see the play. That's actually would be one I would love to make one of the ones I see on Broadway whenever I do get to New York City.
Right. Speaking of Broadway, we have to talk about those cameos.
Oh yes. So nobody spoil this in the comments if you know this.
Yes, if you know this, don't spoil it.
Don't.
We don't
Christian
know how
Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, we do not know how this got leaked. And I'm not going to say much
this didn't get
because it's a surprise. Their cameo is amazing.
Yeah. They have a cameo after all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if by the way, Wes Enders, I have heard, and this was early, there's this guy who does play reviews that I've been watching and learning about different plays, and
apparently there's supposed to be some West End
in
there too,
and I think even a lot of the European international casts too. So somebody eventually is probably going to try to do a YouTube video and
break down and figure out where all of the Broadway actors are.
Good luck. Good luck. But it is so good. And speaking of Broadway actors, the gentleman who plays Bach, he's in the SpongeBob SquarePants play.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, he looks a little different from which my friend Abby, who kind of got me to appreciate Broadway even more than I already did.
Right.
I think it's still on Paramount Plus. Maybe I'll have to watch it. She said it's really, really fun, or I'll have to get the soundtrack. It's supposed to be a really fun play. I know Nickelodeon put on a version of it on Paramount Plus. I don't know if I ever got to watch it, but it might still be there. It might not. I don't really look at the Nickelodeon stuff very much on there. But anyway, but their cameo is amazing. I'm so glad they got to have what they did.
Yeah.
And for those people who are still going to probably say that they should have played Elphaba and Kristen, and I know, and I have learned recently, Elphaba and Glinda, And I have learned recently that Adina really wanted to maybe, as some people would say, Benjamin Button it. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What they did.
What they did was perfect.
And I'm sorry. There will be people who, till their dying day, will say it should have been Kristen and Dina. And the Kristen and Dina are amazing. She's half Wicked is half the reason I have a Idina Menzel Christmas album on my Kindle right now. You know, that him and I like to listen to. I've played you some of that. But, and I like Frozen. And she's amazing. And it's so great to see some of these Broadway stars come and get the recognition that they don't always get.
Yeah.
Which is sad. You know, maybe it, you know, and I understand the non-recognition that some of these Broadway stars get when it comes to making it on the movie. It's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
From Mary Martin to today.
Yep.
You know. But I'm sorry.
They made the
Ariana
right
Grande
She's
will be Galinda, and Cynthia Erivo will be Elphaba and Galinda for a long time.
Oh yeah, very long time.
And I wish the soundtrack came out tonight. Another second day. But I mean, it was, and the actress who played Nessa, I think we got a little hint in the last shot of her face how good she's going to be with what happens there. As John Chu said, oh, there's a lot more that happens with her, but you have to wait for part 2. He's having fun with it being part 2. If he watches the interviews, it's kind of, well, you'll have to wait. And he was trying to get me to spoil stuff in the car tonight. A little bit. Like, I'm not telling you. But I cannot wait for part 2. I'm so glad though that they have opened up that one thing that I think they have done well for this movie, speaking of Nessa Rose, is they finally brought in an actual person who is in a wheelchair to play the part of Nessa. I guess that has not been done on the Broadway stage. If you've seen the recent revival in Oklahoma, get her, Broadway. She was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. She can sing. Yeah, she's blonde. Put a wig on her. let her do it, because that girl can sing, and that revival was pretty successful. And in fact, I've been tempted to get the soundtrack for it because I like her version of "I Can't Say No," you know, because she plays that character.
Right.
So, I hope this opens the door to that actually being done on Broadway for that character, because she's doing great. And the whole thing with her wheelchair going up when Elphaba tries to get them to stop, that was wires too. That was not CGI.
Yep.
And
they
you
used
can tell
a lot of practical
having
effects
fun
in this movie.
She was having fun. I mean, you could all tell the actors were enjoying it, that they wanted to do this. This movie has been in development, and I watched a video with an interview with the offer recently. They've wanted it since the book came out. Hollywood has wanted it, and then the musical came out in 2003, still going strong, and it has been in Hollywood development since 2003.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, there were so many rumors, Lea Michele, Harry Styles. I'm sorry. I like Lea Michele. I think she's a good singer. I think the right time happened. I don't think they could have pulled this off any other time by now with the technology that they have.
No.
With what they were doing. And they found the right director. there's time to wait. So people who are mad about Blade, look at this and realize there is time to wait if you want something to be good and well
If
done.
you want something done right. Heck, I
And
mean,
well done.
we didn't get Avatar 2 for like how many years?
Yeah. And speaking of
So-
Avatar, Fire and Ice. Wah!
Yeah.
Or
so
not
sorry
Fire and
about that.
No, it's not Fire and Ice. Why did I say Fire and Ice?
Fire and air.
Fire and Ash.
Oh, fire and ash.
Something like
See, I
that.
can't even
If I'm
remember
wrong.
it properly.
Yeah.
It's fire and ash.
Fire and Ash. Looks so good. I really hope
Yeah,
they
I
have the
really hope
logo
they-
on a shirt if we're getting
Yes.
that. But then, as I said, I digress. But it's, yeah. Yes, Avatar 2 took a long time, but it was good. And now we're going to continue the story, and we can wait sooner because we have more of the technology to
Yep.
take it where he wants to take it.
So, I mean, and that...
So good things come to those who wait.
Yep.
I honestly, I came out and I'm like, I don't think anybody else could have done it. I don't think the director could have done it. I don't think any other actors could have done it.
No.
And kudos, and you can tell there's a love and respect for this musical, and it just shows what a little book I think it was written in 1914 or 1912 can do.
I know.
I mean, it's so part of our culture. Samantha, the original 1900s girl, thank you, had, if you could get her bedroom stuff in the catalog, there was a little copy of The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
A little book of The Wizard of Oz. Yes. Secretly, I still want a Samantha doll, even though I have Molly and Addie. Thank you. But anyway, because I like Samantha. But no, that's how much that culture was. You could get her, because I think it was written around the same time she's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you could get a little copy of Wizard of Oz to have her read. So, I am wearing I have a ruby red slipper here, and a witch's hat here, and a witch's hat here.
I wonder if they went with the silver slippers for this one.
Yeah. They're there. They're silver.
That's
the shoes.
The shoes that what's her name is wearing.
They're there. Yes. But anyway, yes, they're silver, but man, do they look pretty.
They do.
Yes, ruby pops more, but it makes me wonder if the silver ones would have been just fine in Technicolor, but they were all about... Maybe not back then. I don't know if back then silver would have been as good as the red.
Yeah.
Because Technicolor was very much baby color.
Yeah.
But all I want to say to end this is thank you to L. Frank Baum. Thank you to Judy Garland. No, you don't need to take it out.
Yeah, you do, because you couldn't see it.
Well, I just wanted to show the box.
The reflection from the...
Oh. Well, he's taking it out for me, but this is a Hallmark ornament I got. I saw it and I just had to have it. But thank you to L. Frank Baum, Judy Garland, and everybody... Disney. I actually liked Oz the Great and Powerful. I'm sorry we didn't get to see more of that. So if you haven't watched Oz the Great and Powerful, don't shun it. It's actually a lot better than you think it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
All
I need to watch that still.
Theater writers for taking this book that had multiple stories and carry on. Return to Oz is kind of a cult thing. I still haven't seen that. But, and I guess there's more true to kind of the more darker aspects of the book. But, it's a world that will never die. I
Yep.
really don't think Wizard of Oz will ever die.
No, I don't think so either.
And
I remember when I was on my mission in Idaho, getting to meet a guy who had a Wizard of Oz collection that at a size that I've never seen before. His entire living room was entirely
wow.
covered in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you can find things. I have
like
something packed away up in my attic right now
Mm-hmm.
that I need to get down so I can put it out that I got at Solving, which is a little thing. I remember I wanted to get something, and I have a Wicked Witch from her too.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the top of her broom finally broke off, or did we glue it back on? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I have a Dorothy, and it's just Dorothy walking down the road. And I had a Wizard of Oz calendar. I had, but when we went to Solving, it's this little Dutch town. It's actually featured in Psych. If you've never watched Psych or ever watched Psych, it's actually in Psych. I was like, I've been there. It's been forever, but I've been there. And my dad was like, well, do you want to get a souvenir? And I walked by the shop, and I think it was where I got it because they had these other Wizard of Oz figurines.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this huge Dorothy in the window, like huge, almost lifelike Dorothy. And I said, that. And of course, my dad's like, no. But I had another little Dorothy. I have a little scarecrow that I got when they brought some out later. Then, but my favorite is one that you can tell it was made to look like Judy Garland.
Right.
But they're all special to me. My sister got me a Somewhere Over the Rainbow music box of her painting on. Which is somewhere in those boxes up there too. But thank you for the story. I think every once in a while we need to go over the rainbow. And I think, yes, it touches on some political themes. And that's the power of story.
Yep, it is power of story.
This book is very different. But to think that just started from a book about a little girl in Kansas.
Yep.
Who got knocked out during a tornado. Was it a fever dream?
Was it a dream or was it not a dream?
But I mean, it's part of our culture. Color, different things. When I watched Oz the Great and Powerful and they started it in black and white and then they went to color. Yes, it's not the same thing because it wasn't as groundbreaking, but I remember looking at my mom and Daryl and I said, that must have been how they felt because I wasn't expecting it to start black and white when I saw Oz the Great and Powerful. And then they went to the color and it was just... But imagine how they felt when this was made.
Yeah.
When Judy Garland opens that door. That's why I love this ornament. I was like, that's always been one of my favorite parts. And she just opens the door and you see this color
everywhere.
And then anyway, if you love Wizard of Oz, you will like this.
Yes.
Because this is a little different turn on the story. Even if you don't, you might appreciate some of the political themes in it.
Yep.
Or the love story in it. That's the beauty of a property that stands time and culture and stuff like that. Yes, you're more likely going to like it if you like Wizard of Oz, but don't let that stop you. If someone asks you to see it...
I'm not a big fan of Wizard of Oz, but I liked it. I thought it was really good.
I mean, honestly, I can't get over how good it was. I haven't had that much fun with a musical in the theater in a long time. Oh, and by the way, the trailer that dropped yesterday for How to Train Your Dragon came before this on the IMAX screen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
I've never had a teaser make me tear up a little bit. That was That was so good.
It was good, and
it was
we
even better
actually
than
might
watching
be
it here at
theaters
home.
for this one, and we have a lot of movies next summer
Yeah, so many
to try to go see and do on this
So
channel.
many.
But when you see that trailer on that IMAX screen, and if you have the chance to see this on IMAX, I know Gladiator 2 deserves to be on IMAX. Don't at me. I know Gladiator 2 deserves to be on IMAX.
But if you can see this movie on IMAX, do it.
It's great. And if you can see it in a theater first, do it. Because that TV right there,
it ain't doing it justice.
It ain't gonna capture the scope of it.
It won't do it justice.
If you get it on the IMAX, if your theater's doing it, they did it
in the theater.
And I think that our IMAX knew that, and I can get frustrated for IMAX at times. Just ask me.
Only having one screen,
but I don't get frustrated about that too much. I understand why Gladiator's gonna be on the screen the rest of the week, but. Because I'm sorry, nobody's going to go to their elite cinema to see Gladiator. I'm sorry. Even I wouldn't.
No.
But Gladiator 2, sorry. But if you can see it on IMAX, go. Because the cinematography, that's another one. If they don't get
it was so good.
nomination, I'm going to flat out go, what in the heck?
I know.
Because it was great. Whoever their cinematographer was.
So good.
I mean... Yeah, go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
Go see it.
So, and
get ready for part 2.
Yes, get ready for part 2. What are we giving? What rating are we giving?
Since when do we do ratings?
Since today.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
I'm giving it 11 out of 10. But
probably more 11, but I wasn't prepared for him to do that, so I said 10 out of 10. But
gotta throw a monkey wrench in things.
But oh my gosh, I mean, it's good.
It's good. It's really good.
Get out I there, guarantee you, we get first look for part 2 Super Bowl, so not that far away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's coming out next year, so
yeah. So it's in part 2. Yes, it kind of stinks. I hear that. Yeah. I hear that.
We had a lot of people. A lot of people were disappointed when they found out it was part.
Yeah, we did hear somebody say, "Oh, I didn't know it was a part 1." Have you been living under a rock? I'm sorry. How many times have they said
it was going to be part 1? Anyway,
but and I know not everybody follows Movie News, but come on, it's been out there for a bit now. It has. So. You can find it, but and yes, that kind of stinks, especially since they're waiting to November. But I think Oscar will be considered here.
Yes.
I don't know if they'll wait until part 2 is over, or they will do it now.
I really doubt that it would have to.
Well, yeah, it might not, because supposedly the Academy gave it a standing ovation. They got a screening.
Yeah, they did.
So, who knows? But I mean, it's got an Oscar winner in it.
Yeah.
So Michelle Yeoh.
So anyway,
just go.
Yeah,
I
it's so good. Just go.
It's go and get ready for part 2, which I think will be Super Bowl. I really do.
Anyway, guys, tell us what you guys think
tell
in
us
the comments
what you
below.
think.
I mean,
have you seen it?
Have you guys seen it yet? Have you
seen the movie? Have you seen the play? Read the books?
Did you guys like it? Did you guys enjoy it? Was it your best movie you've ever seen? Did you not like it? Did you have problems with it? You don't like it, because it's a musical.
Some people don't. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes, people don't jive with them. But anyway, so
sometimes even people who like musicals get frustrated with musicals.
Yeah.
Believe me, there are frustrations.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.